All right, viewers, let's take you now directly. Sindhu is back with her bronze medal, and there is a fair amount of revelry around it. Let's cut across to
immediately granted permission. Thank you so much for that, sir. And also, I would like to thank each one of them. Because Tokyo mein I couldn't see a lot of spectators, fans, but I'm sure from India, billions of people have shown their love, support, and have put in like all the efforts and also their blessings. So I think I dedicate it to all of them, and also my parents here. I would like to thank them. I think their efforts, their sacrifices have have got me till here, and especially my coach, Mr. Park. I've been working with him since more than a year now. I mean, I think his hard work, his dedication, I mean, that has got where we always wanted that dream to come true, and it has come true. And also special thanks to Badminton Association because they've always been there, and also once again to the sports authorities. So I think I can't thank enough, because all of your support, all of your encouragement has got me till here. Once again, I thank each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for inspiring the entire nation. Now I request coach of Ms. PV Sindhu, Mr. Park Tai Singh, to say a few words on this occasion.
Thank you, sir. Before speech, please understood my English little not enough word. But Sindhu always know my name, so I love her. Today I arrived in Delhi airport. Was so many media, so many fans to receive congratulations. It's my life first time I receive. It's really my life first time. Yeah. So today it's my honor. So many India ministers. So I'm very happy, and many media also. Thank you. It's mostly I would like to say thank you, Sindhu, because me and Sindhu parents, all support team, we little since pandemic, it's very hard time, and training, it's life, also very hard time, but Sindhu always too patient to my teach, so my training, she trying and doing. So today this is good function. So I again. Thank you, Sindhu. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. With this, we have come to the formal closure of this program. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, viewers, that is PV Sindhu being lauded by the sports minister there and her coach after scripting history at the Olympics. PV Sindhu's come back with a bronze there. We're going to get you more on all of that, but let me quickly shift focus to the other big story which is developing as we speak, and it's happened yet again, viewers, and this time in the national capital. A 9-year-old child, a girl, was gang raped, murdered, and then was cremated without the consent of her relatives. It has happened yet again, a heinous crime in the national capital in the dead of night. A 9-year-old Dalit girl was allegedly raped, murdered, and then forcibly cremated by 4 men, including a priest in Delhi's cantonment area. The police have arrested all the 4 people, including the priest Radhesham. They have all been sent to judicial custody. A case has now been registered after the parents say that the girl's body was cremated without her consent. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal condemned the incident in a tweet, saying he will be meeting the parents of the minor girl tomorrow. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi too have sought justice for the minor girl. More so, it's become a big political blowout because a lot of Dalit leaders have now taken center stage, getting into the entire controversy. I want to connect viewers immediately to my colleague Milan, who's been tracking the case very closely in Delhi. Milan, will you elucidate what really happened? The parents are right now saying that the body of this 9-year-old child who was gang raped, murdered, was cremated without the consent of the family. What exactly happened?
Well, that's right, Preeti. It's being alleged from the parents that the body of the minor girl was cremated without their consent, and which is why the case against the priest has also come forward. But when you talk about the case, it is a very unfortunate remembrance of what happened in Hathras in Uttar Pradesh. And the same thing is being seen here again. Women's rights activists as well as Dalit rights activists are out on the streets protesting for justice for this girl. And now you are looking at the Chief Minister.
Without the consent of the parents, what are the parents alleging? Was the body cremated by the perpetrators of the crime or the Delhi police? What is the charge of the parents here?
Well, precisely, Preeti, just what you said is the charge, that the body was cremated without the consent of the parents, and the police has also been taken into account into this matter. The activists are saying that a thorough investigation needs to be done on this particular matter, and which is why the center there, under which the police in Delhi comes under, Arvind Kejriwal has said he'll go and visit the parents and speak with them, because as far as the Delhi government here is concerned, Preeti, the problem is that the police does not come under them. In fact, other political leaders of the opposition parties have also supported a call for justice for the girl. So if I may say, this reminds us exactly of what happened in Hathras, Preeti, but more investigation will need to be done.
Is given a formal statement yet, Milan?
Well, there hasn't been a formal statement on this point, Preeti, but we have to wait for what the police investigations will show, because that is the charge that is being leveled by the parents there. And that certainly requires thorough investigation in such a sensitive case of this girl, a Dalit minor girl who was raped and murdered.
9-year-old child, that is it. A 9-year-old child gang raped, murdered, her body cremated without consent is what the parents are alleging. This is definitely going to blow out politically as well, but do think about it and let that burn into your memory space. A 9-year-old child gang raped, murdered in the national capital. Appreciate you joining us, Milan. We're going to quickly shift focus on the other developing story in the national capital, and that comes from the parliament. Viewers, 2 weeks running and the parliament hasn't functioned. The opposition holding the parliament to ransom. What they want is very clear: a debate on Pegasus and a probe on Pegasus. The government, on its part, has completely dug in its heels. They are refusing for any debate or a probe to be conducted where Pegasus is concerned. Here's more.
Repeated hangama in parliament.
Allow the house to function. People are watching.
Snoopgate echoes in both houses. Opposition is in no mood to relent. As soon as both houses convened for proceedings, leaders from opposition parties started sloganeering and demanded nothing less than a debate over the Pegasus issue.
जब 60% लोग और उनके प्रतिनिधि मिलके एक निर्णय लेते हैं और पार्लियामेंट में उसकी चर्चा चाहते हैं पेगासस इशू पे, जो आप जासूसी कर रहे हैं प्रेस वालों की, जासूसी कर रहे हैं जो आर्मी की चीफ की, जासूसी अपोजिशन लीडरों की कर रहे हैं, प्रिंट मीडिया की कर रहे हैं, उसके खिलाफ हम लड़ रहे हैं।
ऑपोजिशन यूनाइटेड है, ऑपोजिशन एक साथ एकजुट होकर उन मुद्दों पे लड़ेगी जो जनता के अधिकारों के मुद्दे हैं, जनता से जुड़े हुए मुद्दे हैं, वो महंगाई हो, अर्थव्यवस्था हो, और जिस तरीके से नेशनल इंटरेस्ट को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जा रहा है, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जा रहा है, किसानों के खिलाफ काम हो रहा है, उन सारे मुद्दों पे हम लोग एकजुट हैं और एक साथ बात करें।
Opposition MPs even stormed into the well of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, holding placards against the government.
Nobody can dictate to the chair. Nobody can show an accusing finger. Understand?
Upset over the repeated disruption, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla urged opposition leaders to let the House function.
सभा की कार्रवाई 4 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
Akali MPs staged protest outside Parliament, holding wheat plants, seeking scrapping of farm laws.
ना 8 महीने से किसानों की सुन रहे हैं जो सड़कों पे बैठे घर बार छोड़ के, अपने किसान अपने खेत फसल छोड़ के, और ना ही इधर संसद के अंदर हम एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन के ऊपर हर रोज 12 दिन से दे रहे हैं, एडमिट करके चर्चा करके सारे हाउस की सहमति लेके कि ये क्यों वापस होने चाहिए, वो हमारी यहाँ पे आवाज कुचली जा रही है।
As the logjam continued, the government hit out at the opposition, accusing them of wasting people's money.
बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में पैसा बर्बाद हो रहा है। लोगों के जो पैसा से ये चलता है लोकसभा और लोकतंत्र, इसका बहुत बड़ा बर्बादी कर रहे हैं।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi too hit out at the opposition, saying that repeated disruption is an insult to the parliament and public.
This is nothing but politics of theatrics. जो रंगमंच में करना है वो आप संसद में कर रहे हैं, संसद के बाहर भी कर रहे हैं, तो एक नौटंकी जैसा है ये सारी एक सिंबॉलिक चीज़ें होती है और सिंबॉलिज्म का महत्व है मगर उसकी मर्यादा भी है और इसलिए मुझे नहीं लगता कि इसके कारण जनता में अपोजिशन के कहने के प्रति कोई अधिक विश्वसनीयता बढ़ेगी।
With no solution in sight, Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu held meetings with government and opposition leaders to cool tempers. Continued disruptions have also affected the productivity of Parliament. Lok Sabha's productivity came down to 14%, while Rajya Sabha's productivity is down at 20%, causing a loss of 9 crore every day to the exchequer. With Rahul Srivastava in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's move on, viewers. China's Galwan lies have been exposed once again. This time it's come in the form of a 45-second video clip which has been run as propaganda, clearly, by China.
"45 seconds of video footage. The latest propaganda installment from China on 2020's Galwan clash in Ladakh. A video positioned to project Chinese bravery in the face of Indian aggression in the Galwan Valley. But once again, the images reveal much more than the Chinese government perhaps intended. It opens with Indian soldiers dismantling a Chinese observation post which had violated the line of actual control in June last year. But in the very next sequence, for just 2 seconds, a dead giveaway. Chinese soldiers seen stone pelting from up one of the slopes. Pushed back by the Indian Army team, the propaganda video then shows PLA troops struggling in the freezing Galwan River. And then, in the final flourish, a sequence capturing PLA troops being washed away by the Galwan River. But in the background, an earth-moving bulldozer, a confirmation that China was manipulating the path of the river to gain an advantage. The propaganda clip is an intended emotional backdrop to an interview with the family of Wang Zhuoran, one of the men China has acknowledged died in the clash. The propaganda video comes just 2 days after India and China held their 12th round of talks on the Ladakh standoff. Troop pullbacks have already happened at Galwan and the Pangong Lake. The two sides formally committed to expeditious troop pullback now from the Gogra Post friction point, but China has maintained a very rigid stance on Depsang in North Ladakh. There is skepticism on China's intentions, since there has been little or no forward movement in the friction areas along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh since disengagement in Pangong in February this year. With India Today also reporting that China has strengthened its positions in the depth areas away from the front lines, a long autumn and winter loom ahead. With the standoff showing no signs of winding down in any real manner, and with the new Galwan video, it's clear that the mind games and propaganda won't be winding down either. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, viewers, let's go now to a big sports story. Now, this is the biggest Premier League of what one can call is esports. And India Today's nationwide ESPL is absolutely exploding online. And it's all set for the mega grand finale this month. If you're a gamer in India, this is the platform that's totally on fire. With the muscle of the India Today Group's gaming division and a cutting-edge online Premier League format. This 3-month multi-city tournament is entering its climax phase with over 700 online matches and more than 300 of gaming content. Over 1 million gamers are already getting a taste of the free fire action. Teams are competing against rivals to represent 8 cities across the country. Live stream broadcasts are on India Today's YouTube and Facebook channels. And we're also teamed up with Hotstar to stream ESPL across the country. Towards the end, 8 teams will compete against each other for a total prize pool worth of 25 lakhs, with a grand finale scheduled for August 29th. And India Today's ESPL is already seeing a very high level of endorsement nationwide. 8 state ministers, including the Delhi Deputy CM Manish Sisodia. I want to connect to Vishwalok right now, who's going to elucidate a little bit more on what is this biggest event in e-sporting history. Vishwalok, over to you.
This is Esports Premier League. This is the IPL of gaming, and this is the first ever, IPL format gaming tournament in the world for Free Fire games. And the kind of response that we are getting is simply fantastic. We got 1 million plus registrations for this, right? And in that there are 8, city and state teams which are participating, which you have already mentioned, which is, cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Punjab and Rajasthan. And we are, so happy that the sports ministers of every state has actually endorsed this. They have, revealed the logos, the jerseys of each state, and they have really, given best wishes to all the state teams for that.
Vishwalok, appreciate you joining us, and good luck as you run up to the finale, which is on the 29th of August. I'm sure a lot of eyes will be peeled on what exactly is going to happen then. Welcome viewers, you're watching our Fact Check segment, where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. There's a claim floating about suggesting that non-vaccinated Americans will be put in quarantine camps. The fact to that, no such mandate by the US authorities. It's fake news. With that busting of fake news, time for us to slip into a quick break, but to stay with us. On the other side is To The Point.